Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. So one thing I find very interesting when it comes to the NBA draft every single year is just that anytime our team drafts a player, you know, we talk about how they are going to be a big part of the future, everything like that. And then it's like almost guaranteed that literally like half of the lottery players, or at least like a quarter of them, are going to just be a straight up bust and be out of the NBA, you know, in 3-4 seasons. So yeah, this should be a pretty good video right here, man. We got the worst NBA players drafted at every spot in the lottery, because we're going to sit there and see these players and be like, yo, I remember when they were juiced up like crazy. So let's go ahead and get into this, man. Video by Wilson C, by the way. Link to his channel in the description below.
Over the course of NBA history, there will always be a couple busts in every NBA draft. Certain teams will always pass up on generational type talent.
Oh my god, bro, look at Blake Griffin. That's just not a great picture of him. It's just not. I mean, that's all I gotta say. Okay.
Ends up haunting the franchise.
Steph Curry looks exactly the same.
There's been many disappointing players selected in the top 3. Busts like Kwame Brown, Michael Olabakandi, and Darko Milicic were very bad.
They got mentioned Darko,
but nowhere close to the worst drafted in their respective spots. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Today we'll take a look at the absolute worst NBA players taken from every spot in the lottery.
Greg Owen had injuries. Kwame Brown was a bona fide scrub.
The first overall picks, a couple nominees, since we won't go past 85. Michael Bus Olabakandi from the 98 draft. Kwame Bus Brown 2001. I'm excluding Greg Oden from this list since he got injured and never fully proved himself. Andrea Bus Bargnani.
Bargnani was not a bust. He was not a bad player. I mean, sure, maybe he shouldn't have went number 1. I can agree with that, but I don't think he was a bust.
2006 and Anthony Bennett 2013. Of those 4, the answer is 100% absolutely positively Anthony Bennett. Averaged a pathetic 4.4 points on 39% shooting.
Kwame Brown ain't far behind.
Total games, out the league by 23 years old. 4 teams in 4 seasons. A recipe for disaster. At least those other 3 guys lasted at least 9 seasons in the NBA and had some decent moments. I can't imagine a number 1 pick that'll end up worse than Bennett in the future. The second overall pick, the nominees, Darko Milicic. At least he had somewhat of a career. His pick was just as bad as anybody's.
It's just because of the draft he was in.
Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh went after him. Stromile Swift from 2000, who had all the athleticism.
Bro, Stromile sounds like a freaking like Italian dish, bro. Like I'm about to eat like a Hot Pocket or something like that.
But did average double figures for a couple years, combined with being in the worst draft in the modern era. Hasheem Thabeet, who was picked above
Derek Williams was really juiced up.
Derek Williams 2011.
I gotta probably go. Derek Williams, at least he like did something out there. I don't know. Derek Williams was a really juiced up player, though.
Picked over the likes of Klay Thompson and Kawhi Leonard, but I'm going with the 7'3" Hasheem Thabeet, who had absolutely no skills whatsoever. An absolute nightmare. Averaged just 2.2 points, 2.7 rebounds, 5 seasons in the NBA.
He was supposed to be a defensive player of the year type of guy.
Which just goes to show, even if somebody played well in college, it doesn't mean their skills will translate to the NBA. The third overall pick, the nominees, Chris Washburn from the 86 draft out of NC State, picked ahead of stars like Dennis Rodman and Mark Price. Darius Miles in the 2000 draft.
Morrison was called the next Larry Bird.
To be out of high school, lacked a jump shot. Adam Morrison of the underwhelming 06 draft was essentially a god in college. Drew comparisons to the great Larry Bird. Jahlil Okafor, it's officially safe to call him a bust. Mixed this list because his game doesn't fit in the modern NBA. Very slow, a terrible defender.
Yeah, I mean, Jahlil was kind of drafted in like an awkward, you know, transition to the NBA where teams were still thinking guys like that could succeed, but as we all know, it's just that type of play doesn't work anymore.
He might honestly not be in the NBA much longer after 2020. If things continue to trend south for him, I'm not sure if he'll ever play a key role on any team. The answer, surprisingly, not Adam Morrison, but Chris Washburn.
I don't know anything about him.
The 6'11" center was picked by the Warriors, slowed down by injuries, plus having drug problems. Werlin Bias was picked right before him, died of a cocaine overdose. Washburn was supposed to be the next Shaquille O'Neal before Shaq. Lasted just 72 games over 2 seasons, was always late to practice, didn't behave well, averaged just 3.1 points, 2.4 rebounds.
I mean, yeah, if he had like, okay, you still say I still, yeah, obviously still a bust, but I mean, like, it sounds like he has some more mental stuff going on, though.
Received a lifetime ban from the league in 1989 after 3 failed drug tests, spent time in jail, Now sober for
Big
19
yikes,
years.
though.
Very unfortunate.
Dang.
He made many bad decisions. The 4th overall pick, the candidates, Marcus Fizer from the 2000 draft, picked by the Chicago Bulls, lasted 6 seasons, averaged 9.6 points. Tyrus Thomas lasted 8 years, picked in the 06
Love
draft,
Tyrus Thomas.
posted averages of under 8 and 5. Wesley Johnson and his underwhelming 7 points somehow lasted 9 seasons.
Wesley is known for getting crossed over by James Harden at this point, though.
It's also safe to say Dragon Bender will go down one of the biggest busts. Now with the Warriors, averages under 6 and 4, a career 40% shooter. If things trend the same way in a few years,
I gotta say
I'll
Bender.
say Bender's the worst 4th overall pick. But I'm still going with Wesley Johnson since he made no impact wherever he went. Never averaged over double digits.
He
in
played
any
for,
season, put up
damn, where'd he
empty
play
stats
at?
on the Lakers.
Wasn't
Picked
Ohio
ahead of
State,
stars
was it?
like DeMarcus Cousins and Paul George.
I remember.
The 6'7" small forward was already 23 years old, out of Syracuse.
Syracuse,
Couldn't shoot
thank you.
well, doesn't rebound, defend, or pass well. Never found a consistent role in the NBA. Became super unplayable his last couple seasons. The 5th overall pick, Jonathan Bender out of high school.
I don't know who that second guy is, but I'm giving it to him. And also Sheldon Williams is best known for dating Candace Parker.
In the 99 draft, at 6'11", his game was very similar to Kevin Durant, but had too many injuries, which cut his career short.
I've never heard that second guy.
2002, lasted 4 seasons in the league, made absolutely 0 impact. Sheldon Williams in the 06 draft, lasted 6 seasons, averaged 4.5
I'm going
points, ended up with
Nicolas.
7 teams. Thomas Robinson was out the NBA after 5 seasons, had a lot of upside coming into the draft, never developed. It's also safe to put Mario Hezonja on this list, now in his 5th season, not very effective.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sheldon's name is Sheldon. Like, you never heard of a good basketball player named Sheldon before. You ever hear that going against him?
Blazers, I don't see him sticking around the NBA for much longer. I'm going with Nicolas Giccichvili. Picked ahead
Damn,
of
good
Nene and
pronunciation.
Amari Stoudemire. His Nuggets won 17 games as a rookie.
Look like John
Averaged
Mayer.
an awful 2.9 points, 1.8 rebounds.
That's literally John
Being
Mayer.
7 feet, teams were searching for the next Dirk Nowitzki. Shot under 29% from the field as a rookie. The perfect definition of a European bust. At least he enjoyed a long international career playing pro ball for
Damn,
more
now
than
look like
2
we're on some
decades.
roids.
The 6th overall pick. The later picks is where more busts will come. With the worst of the worst, William Bedford, a 7-footer out of Memphis, played 6 seasons in the league, averaged just 4.1 points.
Yo,
Just
Robert
like
Tractor
Washburn,
Trailer, right?
Bedford had drug
That was his
problems,
name, right?
never reached his full potential. Robert Tractor Trailer,
Yep.
famously drafted by the Mavs. The guy traded for Dirk Nowitzki.
Veselý is another one of those guys that people, and you know, like William Bedford, I mean, I don't think I was watching basketball around that time, but like Ike Udoh, like he was a decent backup center. Johnny Flynn, he was actually pretty decent before injury. It's just, once again, he was drafted before Steph Curry, which makes him more of a bust. But yeah, Veselý,
In
damn.
the 99 draft, played 7 seasons in the league, averaged under 5 and 4 at 6'8", over 280 pounds. Trailer tragically passed away from a heart attack at age 34 in 2011. Johnny Flynn played 3 total seasons in the NBA. He's on this list since he was picked ahead of Steph Curry.
Yep, I knew
That's
that was
why
going to be
I left out DeMar Johnson and DeJohn Wagner. Epe Udoh lasted 7 seasons, averaged just 3.5 points, 3 rebounds as a 6'10 center. Jan Veselý, drafted in the 2011 draft, 3 total seasons in the league. I'm going with Veselý since the Wizards wasted their pick, played his final NBA game at 23 years old,
Complete
averaged
trash.
3.6 points, 3.5 rebounds, an absolute travesty. He was picked ahead of future stars like Kemba Walker, Klay Thompson, and Kawhi Leonard. At least his career in Europe
Yo,
has been
Kawhi
a
and Washington,
success.
John
While
Wall have been
EuroLeague
nasty.
MVP in 2019. The 7th pick, Bobby Hurley, it's unfair to call him a true bust, was involved in a serious car accident during his rookie season.
Oh
had
yeah,
life-threatening
we'll take him off the list, then we won't, you know.
injuries. Although he was okay, his athletic abilities were diminished. While Chris Midd
Chris Midd played for the
seasons,
Lakers.
averaged 7.5 points, over 5 rebounds, was out the NBA before 30 years old, picked way too high. Eddie Griffin out of Seton Hall was decent his first 2 years with Houston, averaged around 8 and 6, didn't play his 3rd year due to rehab with alcohol addiction. His last 3 seasons with the Timberwolves continued to get worse. Bismack Biyombo,
I think you gotta say Bismack Biyombo because this man literally had one good series, playoff series with the Toronto Raptors. Then he got a huge ass contract from Charlotte.
the 2011 draft, with many speculations surrounding his age, shockingly still 27 years old.
Called him
His
the next
9
Ben
seasons,
Wallace.
Averages 5
Hell
and 6
no,
for
baby.
his career. I'm going with Eddie Griffin, picked 3 spots ahead of Joe Johnson, also ahead of Richard Jefferson, Zach Randolph, Tony Parker,
Yo,
and Gilbert
bitch ass
Arenas
field
as
goal
well, and was
percentage.
already out the league by age 24. Continued with his off-court problems. His life ended tragically after barreling into a moving train as he was drunk driving.
Oh
was
my,
just 25
wow.
years old.
I did
One
not
of the
know
most
that.
terrible
Rip.
endings for any professional athlete. The worst 8 pick, Bo Kimbo, picked by the Clippers in the 19th.
Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Y'all already know, man. Okay, man, I need the thumbnail, bro. That's usually how I do my thumbnails, bro. Y'all already know, man. Oh, bitch-ass Stanley Johnson. Man, Nick Stauskas. So why you gotta put my man Nick Stauskas by Stan? I love Nick Stauskas from Michigan, bro. Damn, bro.
1990 draft. Lasted 3 seasons. Averaged 5.5 points. Rafael Arujo.
You already know.
Center from Brazil. Lasted 3 seasons as well. Picked by the Raptors. Put up even worse numbers of 2.8 points, 2.8 rebounds in the 04
It's kind of a cool name.
Joe
Sounds like a wrestler.
Alexander at 6'8" in the 08 draft was even worse. Lasted 2 seasons. Averaged just 4.2 points. 67 total games. Was a good athlete in college, but couldn't shoot or defend. Most recent picks includes Nick Stauskas.
I got a feeling Nick Stauskas will actually be back in the NBA. I do think he will at some point. I don't know if he's. I assume he's still playing basketball, probably overseas somewhere. But I think he'll make it back eventually.
Average under 7 a game on 39% shooting.
Gotta see what he's up
Stanley
to.
Johnson, 6.6 points, 37% shooting. Likely won't be in the league much longer.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going with Joe Alexander.
It's
One of
Stanley
the most
Johnson.
Productive lottery picks all time. At least his career worked out overseas. The 9th pick, starting with the 6'8" Ed O'Bannon in the 95 draft, lasted 5 seasons of averaging 5 points, 128 games, came off winning a national title with UCLA, being
Out of all these guys, the one I have not heard of is the first one, Ed O'Bannon. I have not heard of him. I've heard of all these other guys, so he's got that going for him. Patrick O'Brien, though, I remember that was another center that was like supposed to be, you know, he was supposed to be something in the
named most
NBA.
outstanding player.
He just never was.
O'Bannon's most famous for filing a lawsuit against the NCAA, demanding college athletes to be paid. My sweep need of the 2003 draft, picked by the Knicks, was out the NBA after 4 seasons.
Probably
averaged
Sweeney.
6.5 points,
A lot of weight
4.5
issues.
rebounds, battled with depression, but doing a lot better these days. Also played in the Big 3 league. Ike Diagu, picked by Golden State in the 05 draft, played 6 seasons, averaged just 6-3.
Oh, he's
but
picked him up in
wasn't the
2K.
biggest bust the
My
team
league.
drafted. The following year, selected Patrick O'Brien out of Bradley, had 4 unproductive seasons of 2.1 points, 1.4 rebounds as a 7-footer.
Not great.
Didn't
Not
play
great.
against the best competition in college. Was even released from a Chinese team overseas due to lack of effort and poor production. The answer is Patrick O'Brien.
Yeah, that's who I was kinda
shouldn't
leaning
even
towards,
have
too.
been an NBA player in the first place, let alone being picked so high.
He's literally the definition of like a high school basketball player, bro. Like straight up, man. Like you look at him, he looks like a basketball player, which is all, you know, coaches care about in high school. And yeah, you put him on the court, he's complete garbage.
2 years later, after JaVale McGee went 18 overall by the Wizards, he was compared to O'Brien, and JaVale was like, no offense to trash chick O'Brien, I don't know the man. Who knew Golden State had a bad eye for scouting talents before drafting Steph Curry? The 10th pick, starting with Luke Jackson out of Oregon, lasted 4 seasons, averaged 3.5 points.
Sounds familiar.
Mouhamed Sene of the Supersonics from the 06 draft, 3 short seasons, 47 combined games. Jimmer Fredette was a college
Sene,
legend
I
at
remember that
BYU,
guy.
but couldn't find his role, bounced around, at least capable of averaging 40 in China. And of course, it's safe to say Don Maker, who knows how old he really is, averages
Jimmer
under
was at
5
least fun to
3 for his
watch.
career, likely won't be in the league much longer. Of all these guys, I'm going with Sene, who was dreadful on all cylinders, averaged 2.2 points.
I remember
1.6
that name.
rebounds,
That's it. I
47
remember the
total
name.
games. The biggest travesty of them all, comparing him to Dikembe Mutombo during the draft.
Damn, bro.
At least he was bad enough for Seattle
hell,
to land
man?
the number 2 pick the year
He
after.
has a 7'8" wingspan. Like, how are you that bad at basketball, bro? You're like a damn pterodactyl, man. God
Kevin
damn.
Durant. The 11th
pissed me
pick,
off.
Fran Vazquez, drafted by the Orlando Magic in the 05 class out of Spain, didn't play a single minute in the NBA, remained in Spain.
Give it to all of
and
them.
hasn't
All these
been
guys I've never
productive,
heard of.
a
They're all
complete waste
trash.
of a pick. Other bad ones includes Todd Fuller of the 96 class, picked 2 spots ahead of Kobe Bryant. Spent 5 seasons.
Bro, was he in Fuller
averaged
House?
under 4 and 3 at 6'11". Jerome Moiso, a 6'10" big man from France in the 2000 draft, lasted 5 seasons.
Bro, this
under
man
3
played for a team called Eveland. What the hell's up with that, bro? Like, do the lies do, bro? Eveland. What the hell?
Trajan Langdon, a 6'3" guard out of Duke, averaged 5.4 points in 3 seasons from the 99 draft. Since Vazquez didn't even want to play in the NBA, he's the worst of them all on this list. Orlando could have selected Danny Granger, Jared Jack,
Bro, imagine
Monte
drafting a
Ellis.
player that didn't want to play.
Kenny Green in the 85 draft, the first year of the lottery out of Wake Forest, lasted 60 total games, 2 seasons with Washington and Philly, 4.4 points.
Yo, didn't Robert Swift, like like, I'm gonna say, like, that's like a nice picture of Robert Swift. Didn't he end up kind of going a little Chris Anderson on everybody?
Only famous for being picked right before Karl Malone. An absolute travesty of a decision by the Bullets.
Washington is taking some L's, man.
Who
Drafts.
99%
Damn.
of you never heard of, taking in the 99 draft at 7'3", 250, lasted 15 games, 1.7 points, drafted right ahead of Corey Maggette. Of course, who can forget about Robert Swift, the white guy with the tattoos in the 04 draft out of high school. He's still only 34 years old today, averaged 4.3 points, under 4 rebounds, 4 seasons. Became a millionaire by 18, a junkie at age 27, got into trouble with drugs and the law after playing overseas.
You know, it started off good saying millionaire by 18.
2011, Swift got back in shape, played professional ball again in Spain in 2018.
Yo, good for him though.
Karl, an awful pick by the Clippers in the 05 draft from Russia, lasted 44 games, averaged a whopping 1.1 points. But I'm going with Kenny Green as the biggest disappointment since he was picked ahead of Karl Malone. The 13th pick, Michael Smith, the Boston Celtics, 1989. 3 total seasons, 5 points a game out of BYU. Marcus Haslip in the 02 draft, picked by the Bucks, 4 seasons, 3.5.
Yo, Horgio, is that how you say his name? Yo, Julian Wright, he was nice in 2K. That's all I care about. Michael Smith, that's not a real person. Michael Smith is literally a generic NBA 2K player. Like when you just click create a player and just, you know, automatically makes one, that's Michael Smith.
Julian Wright in the 07 draft by the Hornets, also 4
like
seasons, 3.9 points. Giorgio Papagiannis in the 2017 draft, no longer in the NBA after 2 seasons. I'm going with Michael Smith, who might not be the worst, but picked ahead of All-Stars in Tim Hardaway and Sean Kemp. Finally, the 14th pick, Rich King from the 91 draft by the Sonics, Scott Haskin, 93 out of
Second one looks like Ricky Rubio's father with different hair.
94 class, picked by the Nets, passed away at age 31 in 2004. William Avery, the point guard from Duke, 3 seasons with the Timberwolves from the 99 class.
Yo, I like that guy's name, Yinka Dare. That is a good name. That is a great name.
7 points. I'm going with Scott Haskin, who played 27 total games, averaged 2 points, 2 rebounds. Those were the worst players drafted at every spot.
All right, man, that's the end of the video right there. That was very interesting. I mean, a lot of these players, it's like you just kind of forget about because who's going to remember, damn, I already forgot your name. I literally already forgot his name, guys. It's that bad. But yeah, good video. Thank you all so much for watching. Check out Wilson's channel. Peace out, my friends.